Long time ago, there was once an idol series made by the House of the Yellow Ghost Muncher. It knows well the high position it was in. But the series only thought itself as a video game series with many CD singles released, not too different from the Iron Fist Tournament or the Tower Climber Gilgamesh. Little did it know it had carved a different and deeper legacy. It had done the taboo that no one ever thought would prove fatal, a roster cut. When talking about Idolmaster as a whole, sometimes it's easy to forget that the series is produced by Bandai Namco, a company that makes video games. There are several practices that had been taboo within the video game industry, such as unfinishable games, buggy products, and sequels with less features. Practices like design overhaul and roster cut was, in retrospective, not uncommon when you make a sequel with a new number. A cut roster at times was replaced with a new one to make up for it. The in-game reason for the removal can be in relation to the story of some of the new characters, or maybe more revolutionary ideas. But what about idol games? As popular of a genre at the time that this was, it was a very fresh genre, not to mention that Idolmaster was the only idol video game that was evolving. One of the closest comparisons of Idolmaster in terms of gameplay is Monster Rancher. The monster didn't sing, obviously, but the production of monsters was a similar mechanic. As new games were released, some species got cut in favor of new ones. It's just a natural occurrence in video game sequels. However, Idolmaster had few games to compare itself to as a guide for how to make a sequel for a new idol game. No formula to follow, no taboos to evade. It was a bet of life or death. This is Idolmaster 2, the only numbered title of the series. The game was first announced on July 3rd, 2010. At the concert, the Idolmaster 5th anniversary, The World Is All One. A fitting time to announce a numbered sequel, and the announcement at this moment was so far so good. The expectation was big as well. Onward to Tokyo Game Show 2010, that was where things turned sour. The exact detail of this part of the controversy is for another time. First, for now, let's just look at what the game offers. The game was released for Xbox 360 on February 24th, 2011. This is the first proper second vision game, where the second vision designs were used for the very first time in any game. Although, the designs were first used for the Idolmaster Master Artist 2 Prologue CD, released on September 22nd, 2010. Also, this new game is the last deadline Idolmaster game on the consoles. Future console games will have infinite time available. Must be pretty hard to make games that have your progress get practically reset on each playthrough. Many changes happen in the characters as well. The total number of available characters is 9. The characters that are not playable this time are Iori, Ami, Azusa, and Ritsuko. In exchange, they are the unit Ryugu Komachi. Ritsuko is included as the producer of this unit. That also means that in this game, Ritsuko is your senior producer. The ones left available are Haruka, Chihaya, Yayoi, Miki, Yukiho, Makoto, Hibiki, Takane, and Mami. The game is a timeline reboot, which will become a staple of the series. The characters start 1.5 years older than their first vision counterparts and have debuted but haven't made recent good progress. Some physical changes as well. Those may or may not be apparent at first glance. This is, of course, done to make you have to raise them from zero again. It doesn't make much sense to produce idols that are already top idols. Haruka is virtually unchanged, but she got thicker in the hips. Too many falls, perhaps? Chihaya had barely any change. I'm sorry, Chihaya. Miki also had no apparent change, and Awakened mode seems to have been sealed away. Yukiho got slightly bigger, especially in the torso area, but visually, no apparent change. Yayoi hasn't grown an inch at all, but her bust seems to have increased by 2 centimeters. That makes Chihaya indisputably having the smallest bust among the 765 Pro idols. Yayoi seems to have betrayed Chihaya. Other than that, no visible change. Makoto's body grew more feminine and her hair is now leg length. Takane seems to have no visible changes. Hibiki also has no visible changes, but on her bio data, her 3 sizes have shrunk, especially her bust, which has shrunk from 86 centimeters to 83 centimeters. It is speculated as a joke that on first vision, Kuroi had faked her 3 sizes, so 83 centimeters is her true bust size. Still, for a 152 centimeter girl in height, only taller than Yayoi in 765 Productions, 83 centimeters is quite the size. For Mami, her growth spurt exploded. She grew 9 centimeters in just 1 year. To make her more distinguishable from Ami, she also has a longer side tail. Ami also has growth exploded. She grew 9 centimeters just in 1 year as well. To make her more distinguishable from Mami, she has the shorter and spikier side tail. Iori has grown taller by 3 centimeters. Her bangs are combed to the right as well. Still, she features her iconic forehead, thankfully. Azusa cut her hair short, one of the most controversial changes, but at least her cowlick is still intact. Ritsuko changes her hairstyles the most often. In Idolmaster 2, she sports a spiky updo ponytail. Almost all of the old voice actor cast returns except for the presidents and Yukiho's. The president is a new character. Junjiro Takagi now takes over the previous president Junichiro Takagi. In the game, the old president is enjoying his retirement. The actual reason is that the previous president's voice actor, Kan Tokomaru, was too ill to reprise his role. Sadly, President Junichiro's voice actor has passed away. Meanwhile, Yukiho changed voice actresses because of the backlash against her old voice actress, Yurina Hase. Her agency chose to remove her from her role as Yukiho. Her new voice actress is Asakura Azami. Interestingly, she used to audition as Yukiho at the first time of First Vision. The latest audition wasn't satisfactory, so the team looked at the entries of previous auditions. Idolmaster 2 is the first and only game to feature male rivals. Idolmaster is no stranger to male characters, but this game is the first one to feature them as rivals. Under 961 Pro, the true rival unit, Jupiter, consists of Toma Amagase, a serious hot-blooded red leader guy. He's rude, condescending, and naive, although he does have a strong sense of fairness and he's a hard worker. He is the first male red leader archetype. Shota Mitarai, an energetic green boy idol. He's a cute boy, but underneath his innocent looks, he is also a prankster. Sharp with his tongue, too. Unbeknownst of Iori's own forehead, Iori calls him Full Shine Forehead Boy. Hokuto Ijuin, a charming blonde idol. The elegant, collected prince of the unit. He has the habit of flirting with girls. He provided a very rare occurrence among idol franchises, such as flirting with female idols, especially the playable prince, Makoto. Usually the qualifications for a game go in 2 poles, good and bad, but Idolmaster 2 was called controversial for several reasons, as well as some that we have already mentioned at this point. Other changes in the story mode were discouraging. In this game, there are 9 total story routes. 4 characters that were there since the beginning were omitted. In fighting games, this is common. Even if you are forced to play other characters to unlock your favorite one, there will be not much change. But as an idol series, it can be said they were quite disheartened because the characters here have a high waifu value. Another of the reasons was Jupiter. Male idols acting as the rivals is a rare occurrence among the female-focused idol series. Idolmaster itself is not a stranger to the existence of male idols or characters, such as Ryo from Dearly Stars, but several people wanted Ryugu Komachi to be the main rival throughout the game instead. The fact that Jupiter was depicted as behaving badly before release, especially on the radio show, did not help either. By the way, the game features a central storyline against rivals Ryugu Komachi and Jupiter. Also, at the same time that the Master Artist 2 single CD was announced, it was also announced that the units were competing for sales to get the opportunity to sing in a new unit CD, the Idolmaster 2 The World Is All One. This was essentially AKB's very controversial AKB commercial code. This was known to be notorious for creating rifts between the supporters, which is directly against Idolmaster 2's main theme, unity. But by the time the end came around, the unit CD didn't seem to take the competition into account at all, with all the units available within the CD anyway. That's the quick summary of Idolmaster 2's infamy. Funnily enough, this is the only numbered title in the entire Idolmaster series so far. Idolmaster can't seem to spell the word 3, though technically there are several Idolmaster 3s. Speaking of differences, this is the first appearance of Quintet Live, which allows 5 idols to perform. In total, there are single, double, trio, and quintet lives. Only specific songs are available to have quintet performances though, and only also on certain stages. For example, Idolmaster Second Mix. The usual stats are back: vocal, dance, and visual. The character stat has also been removed. The stats shown on the character select screen determines the maximum value the unit can achieve for that stat. The characters that have higher overall stats are trickier with their commus, so for beginners it is not recommended to choose characters with high total stats. the chosen leader reflects the character's preferred build. This will be elaborated on along with Burst Appeal. In this game, there is a new stat, Danketsu Ryoku, or Unity Power. It affects Burst Appeal effectiveness. The higher this stat is, the better the score gained from Burst Appeals. Memory Appeal is not an ammo stock anymore. Now, it's based on level. It's powerful and has more uses than just gaining score. This is also the first Idolmaster game to feature money. This is used to move through the game and buy costumes. Until now, the objects had been obtained based on your achievements. Online matches are cut. This game is tailored for single player only, and sadly, Idolmaster Arcade and Idolmaster Xbox 360 Online was shut down in tandem to Idolmaster 2's release. Oh, I had forgotten that this was also a reason why players hated this game. The main theme of this game is unity. It certainly is a reference to the Danketsu song featured in Beautiful Katamari. However, the latest rendition of the song, Danketsu 2010, never got featured in any game. The lyrics of the Danketsu song got a fair share of backlash too, but this is not the time for that. At a glance, it may look similar to the previous game, but it's actually a totally different beast. The raising part is just the tip of the iceberg. This game is a very elaborate strategy game. A lot of factors are required to be paid attention to, like CD sales, fan count per region, attention rate, reporters, charms, and so on. Quite important to look at, even if it's just to not make your unit cry in regret, which is the bad ending. Good thing Trends is gone, starting with this game. It won't be back until much later, so you can just focus on raising any stat you want. It gives a lot of breathing room for self-expression. The main story involves the Idol Academy. Within 1 year, you have to produce the trio unit to become a top idol unit by making one of their CDs get to the top sales charts, before you go to Hollywood. Initially, you will have Ryugu Komachi as your rival against your senior, Ritsuko. Learn how to produce and set the records high just like her. This is the first time Ritsuko is depicted as a fellow producer. She used to be an intern office lady become idol out of an idol shortage, but now she's pursuing her own aspirations. This is kept onward even when she's an active idol again in future games. When starting a unit, it must be in trio. Single and double are available, but only for live setup without any effect on gameplay. Specific lives as well. The story reason for this, based on the president's remarks, is because of the fierce competition in the industry, and trio units are more likely to be successful.